Tom with rap rock legends, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Give It Away. In the sandwiched middle, Mute Math with Britannia. Maybe not as rocky, but some of the cleanest Aussie drumming I've ever heard. I love that album. And just then, from the Arctic Monkeys' third studio release, Humbug, that was Crying Lightning, a seriously overlooked release. There's some gems on there, man.
Well, man, I'm afraid it's not coming to the island with you because you chose Pyrex instead.
Pyrex, the Tupperware
Windex.
You chose motherfucking Windex.
Shout out to Windex.
Honestly, after how much I got into that just then, I should have picked Alex Turner. Like, I don't know what's going to spur me on to, like, how am I going to leave, like, what's going to inspire me to build the raft to leave the island? Because Purex is just sending me to sleep. I'll just live off the land.
Well, that's not a bad thing necessarily either.
And, I could probably use some of the tools I gained from our regenerative farming segment previously to sort of, set up shop there for a while.
Charles Massey, shout out. And Patrick McManaway, honestly, I truly urge you to go and listen to those. We'll put the link in the description down there because it's just so out there, especially if you are out there. Like, if you laugh at me every time we talk about concepts that, can't exist because everything's made of atoms and the Big Bang happened and
big USBs against us.
Yeah, and like
conspiring against us.
Physical science is the only thing that has an explanation. Then don't do it. But those guys have some really cool ideas about farming and about the land and about nature, and it's not about pesticides, put it that way, from big USB getting into the farming market. It's about intention, connection with the land, meditation, and nature, really connecting with nature. Stop laughing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just fucking sent you down a rabbit hole.
You did.
Well, like, unintentionally, I was just trying to, continuity between episodes and kind of hint, like, if I'm just new to this channel, mate, like, I sound like I could get into regenerative farming. A handy throwback. At PTA.listen if you want to see some reels. I haven't shouted out one thing today.
And also electroculture, if you're on that too.
Is that where you stick the fucking
copper things into the soil,
and then your dill just skyrockets?
It grounds it. Yes, because funnily enough, there's a current, there's a potential energy between the earth, hence earthing, earth in every power fucking plug ever, and then a higher voltage, which is a stack of ions that exist in the atmosphere, and even at 1 meter, these copper pipes are drawing a little current, grounding the environment around it and creating an environment where bugs don't like to go and plants grow really hard. And that is a physical science-based one, like it's not, but that's going to have the most crazy amount of evidence. So get some electroculture sticks if you want to fire up.
We've dived into electroculture sticks.
Yeah, well, I'm just reminding reminding them that they're leaving yield on the table. That you always want more eggplants and more fennel. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, that is true. You can never have enough fennel.
I think it's time to make a confession, Matt.
You have a confession to make?
Yeah.
Hit me. Oh, this is blindsided me. What do you got?
We had the PTA.staff party last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And we were going to not say it because, we could just crunch out a cool episode of interesting stuff.
And I personally didn't want to say it because I want to have another staff party next week.
Yeah, or tonight.
And it could look really bad having 2 in a row.
Exactly. However, the way it's turned out, I think it's important to acknowledge that we had a fantastic meeting with the PTA staff last night and solved some big problems.
Yeah. I
played some really great music.
Yeah, I took minutes and we nutted out. We started the meeting with the negatives and ended on the positives. And turns out there's many more positives, and the positives went for quite a while.
And we have a strategy lockdown now, which is really cool. And we'll be keeping you in the loop with how PTA is going to grow and expand. And we've got some really cool things in the work that we're excited to tell you about. So that's all coming. But man, I'm feeling G'd up from that rock.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon that we continue on that train to say goodbye to everyone, given our feedback for sort of staying a bit too electronic and probably a little bit the blip blooping and not enough homage to our musical origins and a genre that is actually just cool as?
It's sick. The guitar music. So cool.
And the kind of like, I won't say the last, but, you know, really significant 4 to 5 to 3 band members sitting up there all going hard and being really immersed in the sound together, rather than obviously a lot of the stuff we have played and listened to is from electronic music, has bass in computer technology, has bases in, you know, lots of sampling.
A lot more straight lines. It's quantized. The BPM doesn't naturally increase with the energy of the 4 members on stage, right? It's not 4 guys playing a track faster than usual because they're so pumped up because of the crowd. I was extremely guilty of that, like to the point where I was like, oh, that's like unsustainable. Nice little self-interject there. And like the cool thing about rock and roll music live is that there's not really a lot of backing track. It's extremely raw and there's mistakes and there's subtle changes. It's different every time you hear it. You're never going to hear it the same.
Do you have any rock and roll sets that just jump to mind when you talk about it, when you're talking about those 4 band members getting G'd up off each other? Because I've got one that
I've seen.
Pops to mind.
Well, mate, a track we played last night at the staff party, Ace, Ways and the Ghosts, Reciprocation. I saw them play that track day 2 of Wave Rock Weekender.
Wow.
And if you've ever been there, you know what happens. But this guy was like, announced the track and he was like, this one goes for 10 minutes. So like strap yourself in. And it's this amazing long jam, right? These Aussie, I think they're from Melbourne, and they kind of like have this wicked Talking Heads influence, but they've got this like still this Australian pub rock like strength. And he made his way all the way back to the drinks tent and he was playing tambourine whilst this song was on. And then he made his way all the way back to the stage and he's swinging this boom stand around, this mic stand, and just swinging around his head. And it was one of the most powerful things I've ever seen.
That's such a sick thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that song and how it goes and how it builds and then the collective energy of everyone who's getting around that tambourine and that little journey and then
so sick.
Unleashing it all at the drop. That's amazing.
And when you finish a 10-minute song and you're like, I want to hear that again, that's probably as good as it gets.
So I have one as well, and obviously I stayed away from the Chili's and lots of really big commercial artists because obviously they're fantastic, but I like one of the first festivals I went to, I don't even know the name of it was. We jumped it was in the city and it wasn't like a festival, it was just like a one-day thing and had 5 or 6 bands and none of them were very big. It was quite grungy and low-key, but anyway, I saw Children Collide and there was like one of the OG...
that is a deep cut.
OG sort of, it was the beginning of like, oh wow, what's this big circle thing that's happening here? And like, you know, you're just like, wow, okay, like and then it happens and everyone's just going crazy and jumping around and you know, you're with Darce O'Brien, I wasn't. It's like, mate, we're going to run through. It's like, yeah, we're running through. And you know, you go through and you, whatever it is that you do, you line someone up and you bump and you jump around or you get cleaned up and someone picks you up. Like it's a cool little etiquette thing that happens. And I think as well, British India might have been playing as well. And that was time stamped for me. And funny enough, while I'm on it, the British India, they will never not remind me. I had them as the Vanilla by British India, which you will hear shortly. I had it as the ringtone on my phone. There was one of those phones that flipped up sideways into like a keyboard thing.
Was it yellow and black?
No, it was just black. But it was like, I thought it was just so cool. And it was flipped up with an angle, so it kind of felt like a computer when it flipped up.
Oh, like it... Okay, that's a bit more high tech than what I had.
And anyway, I one time I went out with my mate Nick Reed, who, funnily enough, after like 10 years we spent apart, we ended up reconvening, playing for the Eagles when he got drafted. It was so weird and cool and magical. But we played lots of footy together as juniors. Anyway, he took me out with Isaac Huggins and Seb Neves, shout out to the boys. We went to this underage club in Northbridge after like someone else's school ball. And
This was not when you played with the West
No,
Coast
this
Eagles.
is when I was
when
like
you were also
17.
underage.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just wanted to get that.
Yeah,
out there.
thanks for that. And I lied to my parents about what I was doing.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I did.
I'm so surprised.
I did, man. And said, I can't even remember what I said I was doing. I said I was having a sleepover at Isaac's house, and it was all very PG. And anyway, that didn't happen, and we ended up catching the train around and doing all this shit. But it was in the days where there's no real phones, or if your phone ran out of battery, it was done. And you it wasn't like now where the problem persisted. It was at like 10 o'clock. We're like, oh, okay, we've been done here, but we have to just go out and do this. We're catching the train. We're already in the city. We've come from Warwick or Kingsley or something. And so we had this night, and anyway, I stayed the night at Nick Reed's house, man. I just remember Vanilla by British India playing when my mum came to pick me up the following morning, and just
She was calling you because she knew where you were?
She knew, she'd got a hold of me.
Because you were just staying at Nick's.
I'm like, I'm back at Nick's, and I just knew that I was toast. And just hearing that intro just makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
Almost like Skello? Or
No,
just like
it's just so scared. Just like, man, I'm in so much trouble here. Like, I've just completely been stung, lying through my teeth, going out to Northbridge when I was not meant to be. And here's my mum picking me up, and I've probably got surf club, or like I've got something on that. And I turned my phone, it was just like all of the bad things all at once happening. And every time I hear that riff, man, I'm just like, oh. So it's kind of a shame. But the Children Collide mosh pit was the beginning of live rock shows for me. And that was just like really important. And British India, what a great band. You're going to hear some more now.
Mate, I reckon that's a perfect way to finish. I just quickly want to shout out Cindy, who was in the DMs. And just referencing another rock band from that time. Even heavier, probably metal. Cindy from Tassie, and she just wrote in after the Richo show and was just like, I'm a listener now. That was so much fun. And I just want to say that the music scene in Tassie now is out of this world, and it's just crushing it. And bands are coming down there, and it's so much more enjoyable. And she said Carnival came to town recently. Wow.
Yeah, Tassie's got some cool stuff going on with Dark Mofo, and some of the art scene down there is really cool, particularly Hobart. And obviously I got to shout out my boy. Can't be talking about Tasmania without shouting out Wombat. Wombat's back, better know. Been dropping freestyles and that. I've seen him recently. Much love, much respect to Wombat. Hopefully you come on the show soon, brother boy. If you listen, we'd love to have you on, man. So cool. All about that Tassie shit.
Housekeeping.
Thanks to the listeners. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about the staff party. We managed to make it through and speak some absolute funny gas and play some fantastic tunes. Hopefully you've loved it. We love you guys. And here's some more rock songs to finish the app.
I'm going to do something for the crew that have made it this far.
Okay.
I'm going to give them a discount code.
Great. That's great. That's very smart. To the PTA staff.
Staff party. All lowercase.
Staff party, all lowercase, done.
15% off.
Make it 25. Yeah, that's right.
Do you want to make it 25?
Mate, if you've just sat through this conversation we've just had after the staff party, you know
when we were taking minutes at the staff party last night, and we started with like P&L and
financials
and profit and loss and all that. I don't think we can. We can. Staff party at checkout www.passtheorcs.com.au. There we've got some sick hoodies. Tom's actually designed them himself. We've got a bunch of them, all sizes. We've actually got smalls now to accommodate everyone. Jump in there, staff party for 25% off. We're Past the Orcs. Right now you're going to hear Reciprocation, Ace Sways, into some Children Collide, into British India. We're going to finish off with some Carnival. We love you.